So hello and welcome once again to the Hornby Magazine Test Track Layout Topley. Today you join myself and Mike here with A12 Works A12 locomotive. So Mike, the A12 is rather an old locomotive. Can you tell me a bit more about the class?
Of course, yeah, well, it's something very unusual. Actually, the 042 wheel arrangement for, well, any British locomotive was rare, but it was particularly rare on tender locomotives as well. These were introduced in, I think, 1887, and 90 of them were built by both the London and South Western Railway's 9 Elms work, as well as outside contractor Nielsen, and they were then in service on, well, actually, would you believe it, on express mainline services back in the day. So these were seen across the LSWR network on their fastest trains, and then as trains got heavier, then the A12 was relegated back to branch line or secondary use. But actually the last wasn't withdrawn until 1948. And at that time there was just a handful of them left in service with the Southern Railway, and at the point of nationalisation to become British Railways. And those last couple didn't last very long. They never carried their BR numbers, and actually were, well, I think the last one was used as a carriage heating boiler at Eastleigh Works. So.
So going back to the model, A12 Works may be unfamiliar to some people at home. Who are they and what have they done? Okay, so A12 Works is a much smaller manufacturer. They're a British-made model, and it's all very much a very short-run product and almost literally a hand-built model. So these are modelling classes which are very unlikely to be turned into ready-to-run models from the likes of Hornby or Bachmann. So there's something quite interesting, quite unique. We've featured a few of their locos over the years. The most recent one we did was the LSWR 033060 shuttle tank a few months ago, and now the A12 is the latest one to arrive on our desk. And what are some of the features we can expect from the model? Okay,
so you can expect a milled brass chassis from these. They've also got a high torque coreless motor inside, which drives one of the driving axles on them. You've got, well, pickups to allow the model to run nicely as well. And, well, it's not the level of detail you'd expect from a mass-produced Hornby made model, but they have got the character and the flavour of the locomotive.
Which is all that counts for a lot of people.
It is, that's right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a tricky one with this because being a handmade product, the price is higher than you'd expect from a mass-produced product. But again, it's that kind of, you've got to make that choice. If you want something really unusual like an A12, you're either going to have to build a kit and be very proficient at building a kit, because I know the kits that are out there are probably quite old these days, to be honest. Or you've got to be prepared to pay a little bit of money to have something that is unusual and different to add to your collection as well. So, you know, if you're modelling the Southern Railway or the LSWR, well, you haven't got many choices if you want an A12.
Which brings us on to the prime questions, price and availability.
Okay, so I'll start with availability. They are available now, and they're available in both LSWR and Southern Railway liveries, and they've got a choice of both the olive green and also I think there's wartime black as well in the Southern livery. But the price is a little bit higher than you want it to be maybe, but these are £315 per loco, and that's for the ones with the full lining, like the Southern Railway loco we've got here.
We say that a lot of people might like the UK manufactured.
Well, there is that aspect as well. I think that it's kind of trying to weigh up these things. I mean, we have to do this when we're reviewing the model, kind of weighing up what it is, what it offers in terms of detail, what it offers in terms of the actual locomotive it's modelling as well, and then weigh that up against a price point as well. And then price obviously is a very sensitive subject at this point. You know, we've had a lot of conversations going off around the sector about price. For me, if I wanted an LSWR A12 and it was something I had to have in my collection, I'd pay the money. I'd take the model, add it to my collection. You know, it's a good product. It runs nicely. It does those things that you need it to do as a model locomotive. But you've got to be prepared to want this to have to make that choice.
I suppose the thing to remember and take home is that this model wouldn't be made, mass-produced, I suppose?
No, it's very unlikely to be. I mean, you never say never with any of these locos these days. There's always a chance of everything being made one day, but we don't know, and perhaps nor does the manufacturers either. These are a very unusual locomotive. The fact that as an 042 it's balanced nicely, it will haul a nice train. I actually had it running around on I think eight Hornby Mark 1s behind this whilst I was doing the testing for the review. That's pretty impressive from a small 042 like this. So it's got lots of good points as well.
So, you mentioned a review. For those at home, where can they see the full review?
Yeah, OK, so our full review is available to read in the latest issue of Hornby Magazine. That's issue 175, our January 2022 issue. That's available now, or you can read it online at keymodelworld.com.
Wonderful. Well, I think that brings us to the end of this video. So, as ever, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.